Hi Lisa, good to hear you again. Do you see yourself manipulating people, and how do you manipulate people? How did you manage to write book with dyslexia? If nothing matters, then why don't we kill ourselves? Well, that's a very manipulating thing to say, Archming. Like, if nothing matters, why don't we kill ourselves? That's something you're really trying to have an effect on me. That's very ignorant to think that you can't write a book with dyslexia. That's just ignorance on dyslexia. That's like believing that somebody has cerebral palsy couldn't write a book. If you learn and research about dyslexia, you realise it's got nothing to do with that. It's just lack of information. I wrote a whole play when I was younger, and I won a competition, and they put me in all the local newspapers and put me on the radio. And when I went on the radio, the lady knew enough about dyslexia to say it's ridiculous that people make a fuss that a dyslexic person writes a play. Of course they would. Einstein was dyslexic. It's more likely, there's a good chance that someone with dyslexia will write a play because of the way that they think. They're not so confined. So, if nothing matters, then why don't I kill yourself? That is a manipulation, a big manipulation. Like, you're trying to have an effect on me there. It's like you're trying to stab me in the heart. Like, poof, nothing matters, why don't we kill ourselves? So that's a manipulation if you're not aware of it. You can feel it in your heart, like it came with anger, and there was most probably a wanting to send a dagger at me because something I said hurt something in you. It's manipulation. I would say that I manipulate people, but I wouldn't call it manipulation. Like, manipulation tends to be more aggressive, but I'm happy to call it manipulation. Like, I don't want to try and make out I'm perfect or anything, but manipulation is more aggressive to me. So the word manipulation means like trying to gaslight someone maybe, or trying to convince someone of something when you know it's not true. Like, it's more cunning and it's more devious and it's more nasty. It's got like a nasty coat to it. But it could also mean a manipulation, like we as humans are always having an effect on each other. And I think that's a better word than manipulation. So even by me speaking about this, I'm having an effect. Like, my heart wants to give love. My words want to express love, and that's having an effect on people. But in my day-to-day living, I'm always having an effect on people by the way that I act, the way that I speak to someone, what I do. And that effect might be negative or positive. And I try to reflect on my behaviour so that I don't influence people unethically. But I'm sure that I do. It'd be impossible not to. So just in the way that I speak to my partner or my boyfriend on a day-to-day interaction, like, I'm having an effect on him, and everything I'm saying and everything I'm doing, like when I do things, there's something I want. Like to express love is a big one, or to make them happy, or to indicate to them what they're doing I don't like. Whatever it is, there's an effect. We're always doing it, enlightened or not. Everyone is always doing that to each other. In everything you say, in the way you look at people, in the way you present yourself, you're having an effect. And I think the best thing on the human level we can do is become aware of the effects and how we're affecting people, and try to make it as open as possible, and know that all of us are going to affect people in negative ways. You can never be a perfect person. Just in the way that you might indicate to someone that you don't like their behaviour might give them the impression that they're really castrated or they feel really small. So if they reflect that back to you, then you can examine the way that you communicated to them that you don't like their behaviour, and you can attempt to change it. Like, sometimes when I'm uncomfortable with something, I'll try and say something with humour, but I'm really honest about it, and sometimes that can be shocking for people. So I try to adjust that to a meeting place with people, and they can have an effect on me. And this is part of human interaction. This is the way it is. This is how we interact with each other. Okay, I base my question on dyslexia from saying of my friend that is trying to write a book, and she tells me that it's quite hard. I have no idea what effects it may have. I agree with it. Do not take it personally. I did take it personally. I'm used to the comments about dyslexia. When I was younger, I said to my gran, I think my dad's dyslexic. My dad was dyslexic. And she turned around and she said, I was only like about 7 years old. She went, no, your father's not stupid, Lisa. So I've had so many judgments about my dyslexia. I'm quite comfortable in it, but I am very firm. It doesn't, just because writing a book's hard doesn't mean that a dyslexic person can't write one. Again, that's another judgment. Sure, I try to manipulate you. Why shouldn't I? Every interaction is someone manipulation, action, reaction. Yeah. Manipulation, though, to me, I used to use the word manipulation, but manipulation to me is too aggressive. I would say an effect on someone. You're trying to affect people. Manipulation to me is more when it's from a nasty place. I think that you, by saying if nothing matters, then why don't we try and kill ourselves? I think that that was an attempt of nastiness from you, Arching. It was like a bitchy thing, like, take that, poof. But yeah, in the other ways, then you're, in other ways, you try to have an effect. And then to that question, if nothing matters, then why don't we kill ourselves? Don't be ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's totally misunderstanding what I say. Nothing matters right here. On the human level, things matter. It matters that you pay your bill, or you do this or you do that. But on the ultimate level, it doesn't matter. And if you listen to my talks long enough, you'll hear those differences that I distinguish between the human level and the absolute level. On the human level, it's important to feel like you have power, like you can do things, like things matter. But on the absolute level, nothing matters. And the reason that humans suffer so much is because they've forgotten their infinite nature, and they're too identified with it mattering. But on the ultimate level, nothing matters. It's free. And the reason that you want to have an effect on me, I'll guess, by saying that, is it's a rebelliousness against teachers. Because you feel they can't bring you what you want, but there's something that you want from them, which I can't. I can't give you what you want. What you want is emptiness, but there's something you also want from me. It's unconscious.